Hello and welcome back to Bookish. Today I'm here with another tag. This is the male BookTuber tag. I was tagged by Justin, aka GhostReader, several weeks ago actually, and it's been a little while. I've spent some time thinking about this tag and, well, thinking about things going on in the world community, the United States community, my own local community, BookTube community. And to be honest with you, there are things going on that I find incredibly disturbing. So I'm going to take this opportunity with the male booktuber tag to go on a bit of a rant. Hopefully it will only be a two-part rant. I promise I will leave the timestamp in the description box below, and I'll put a little graphic up here if you want to skip my rant and just go on to the actual prompts. Then that'll be fine with me, even though I think my answers to the prompts are somewhat informed by what I'm about to say in this rant. So, here's the rant. I am a straight, white male. I've been married to the same woman for 30 years. I have 2 kids. I am middle class. I live in a suburban American middle class neighborhood with an incredibly low crime rate. I teach high school at a school at which many of the social problems and societal problems in the world don't seem to have affected us directly, or if they do, they're oftentimes swept under the rug because the people in this community have enough money to do so. So, having said all that, what I want to say is, and where I want to start my rant, is with straight white male privilege, and whether or not it exists, and what it is, and what I'm tired of. Because what I'm tired of are straight white males whining. Whining about the fact that groups of people who have traditionally been oppressed, traditionally been underrepresented, have traditionally been forced by society, sometimes with the threat of violence, to hide who they are, to shutter their beliefs from society as a whole, to live their lives in fear and secrecy. I am tired of straight white males resenting those groups of people for taking pride in who they are. I am tired of straight white males acting as though groups of people who have been oppressed, repressed, who have for long periods of time had to hide who they were, what they believed, who they loved, who have had to fight tooth and nail for the same basic rights that straight white men have enjoyed essentially in Western civilization throughout history. I am tired of the whining. This was occasioned by the fact, or my rant here is in part occasioned by the fact that it is Pride Month, and I've enjoyed watching many of the LGBTQ videos and reading month videos and Pride Month videos I've seen on BookTube. But as you may or may not be aware, this has occasioned a reaction among straight white men, and I believe in Boston they're actually going to have a straight white man pride rally. This is disgusting. This is ridiculous. The idea that groups of people who have been traditionally oppressed and threatened with violence and denied their rights, the idea that those people gaining access to the same rights that straight white men have enjoyed for eons and taking pride in who they are, the idea that those activities threaten straight white males is just so ridiculous and petty. How insecure are these people? The simple truth of the matter is this: the more people we extend rights and acceptance to, the better we are as a society. These, straight white male whiners seem to think that what we're talking about is sharing a pizza. That we are all like worldwide, societally, United States, there's a pizza. And if more groups come along, they're going to get less pizza. That's not the way it works. The more groups we accept, the more groups we welcome in, the more groups we acknowledge and extend rights to, the bigger the pizza gets and the more pizza we all get. This is just ridiculous, and to be honest with you, it's pissing me off. It is making me incredibly angry. I see white men saying, well, I don't know what I can say, and I had to be really careful about what I say out loud because I'm afraid I'm going to be, ostracized, stuff like that. So what? Guess what LGBTQ people have been doing forever? They have to be careful forever. They've had to be careful about what they say and how they act because they've had to live in fear up until recently, and hopefully we're not going backwards, that would cause them, that would hurt them economically, physically. Women have had to be careful. Minorities in this country have had to be careful about what they say and who they say it to. So big freaking deal if as a white male all of a sudden you have to live by the same standards as everybody else. As though political correctness is not just politeness. As though calling people what they want to be called is somehow oppressing you? That you can't call them what you've always traditionally called them? This is ridiculous, and it really, really makes me angry. White male privilege exists. It doesn't exist the way people think. I think a lot of people assume that when I talk about, or when people talk about white male privilege, they're saying that white men have had it easy. That is not what people are saying. Certainly, straight white men have had to struggle. They've had to work. They've suffered misfortune. They suffer emotionally. Nobody is denying those things. But the simple truth of the matter is, being a straight white man means that you have fewer obstacles in your way. That's what white male privilege is. Fewer obstacles. As a straight white male in this country, there are all kinds of things which I never thought about, but which I've seen other people talk about, which just come with the territory. I never had to worry about my relationship, my romantic relationships being accepted by my family or by society. I never had to worry that I wouldn't be allowed to marry. I never had to worry that I'd be the victim of violence because of my sexuality, because I'm a white male. I never had to worry that I would be discriminated against in terms of jobs and hiring. And please don't talk to me about reverse discrimination, hiring and affirmative action. That's just ridiculous. That I've never had to worry about those things. As a straight white male, I've never had to worry, as women do, about being victims of violence, sexual violence and otherwise. I've never walked through a parking lot and felt particularly insecure. I've never worried that my car would break down on the side of the road and I would be taken advantage of, become a victim of a criminal activity. You know, we seem to be living in a time period in which toxic masculinity is on the rise again. This is in large part due to the fact that President Trump is the poster boy for toxic masculinity. He's a misogynist, he's a bigot, and that has given license to a renewal of these kinds of things, and to me that's a real shame. We are going backwards. So here's my advice to you as straight white male whiners. Get over yourself, snowflake. Live in the world that everybody else has lived in. If you have to be more careful, if there's a chance, you might not get into the college of your choice because others now have access, get over yourself. You are not being discriminated against. You are not being oppressed. Along those same lines, one of the things that I find most disturbing in Trump's America is the seeming spread and acceptance of sexual harassment. This is, truly an old man thing, so, get ready. Here's a basic thing I want to say to any man who ever watches this video, or any boy who ever watches this video. You do not have license to make people feel sexually uncomfortable. You do not have license to send them through social media messages of a sexual nature unless you are sure that they will be received or they will be welcomed by the recipient. You don't have the right to use social media to prey on people, to prey on women, to prey on men. You don't have that right. Here's a really simple rule. If you're sitting there and thinking, I wonder how this picture of my penis will be received by the person who I send it to, if you have to ask yourself that, don't send it. If you, are going to send a message which contains, graphic sexual language and sexual requests, and you think to yourself, I wonder if they'll like this, don't send it. get to know the person, and if then when you know they will like it or they know they'll be okay, then you and that person can do whatever you want to do. But here's another thing. No always means no. I've been married for 30 years. My wife tells me no, it's no. If somebody tells you no in a sexual situation, the answer is no. It doesn't matter at what point you are. No is not sacrificed in any way, shape, or form, and no should be final. This also, by the way, includes requests for sexual text, for pictures of someone naked. When that person says no, if your reaction is to try to coax them into doing it anyway, you are sexually harassing that person. Pure and simple. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they sent you a picture before. It doesn't matter if they seem to be flirty and engaging in what you're doing. Until you know for sure, don't send it. Don't do it. Don't use social media to prey on people. Don't use your positions in life to prey on people. All right, so there's my rant. Now we'll get down to the actual topics. So problem number 1 is, do you think there's a lack of male booktubers? If so, why? There are certainly fewer male booktubers, and there are a lot more women booktubers, and I think the simple reason is, and I imagine almost everybody said the same thing, we know that women read more than men, and so I think it's just a natural byproduct that there would be more female booktubers than male booktubers. Prompt number 2, would you like to see more male booktubers, and why? Sure, I'd like to see more male booktubers, but not because they're men, but because that's more booktubers. That's more people with whom I can connect. It doesn't matter to me if they're men or women. So it's not the fact that they're male that I want them to join BookTube. I just want BookTube to get bigger. And if more men join, then BookTube will definitely get bigger. Prompt 3, how do you think we as a book community can attract more male booktubers? I don't. Unless you have a way of turning more men into readers, then I don't think you're going to attract a whole lot more male booktubers. I think that as long as the community is welcoming of both men and women, and I think that's always been true, I think as long as it's welcoming of people of all sexual orientations and approaches, then I think that BookTube will grow. Men, women, transgender, it shouldn't matter. We're here to talk about books and to, enjoy one another's company intellectually and talk about something we love. Prompt 4, do you think having more males on BookTube will enhance the BookTube experience? No. The word enhance here in this prompt bothers me. This seems to indicate, and I'm not blaming whoever created the tag. I couldn't figure out who that was, by the way. But the word enhance implies that BookTube isn't already great, that it needs improvement, and I don't think BookTube needs improvement other than just more people in general and more channels. Prompt 5, check the gender divide of your viewers on your analytics. Okay, so I have 2 YouTube channels, and somehow in my YouTube analytics, this kind of gender thing seems to be blended together. One of my channels is a fishing channel, and on my fishing channel, I think 98% of my subscribers are men. I don't know what the percentage is on my BookTube channel, but it's probably a lot closer to 50-50 or 30 to 40% male and 60% female. So I really can't give a good answer about that. But instead, what I thought I would do is I would count the number of men whose channels I subscribe to. So I follow 162 channels right now, and in just kind of an informal quick count, about a fourth or a little more than a fourth of those are male booktubers channels. So then we're supposed to name some male booktubers that we like to draw attention to, and there are honestly, like I said, too many to name, and I'm afraid if I went through and named them that I would leave people out, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because as I think I've said before, if I follow your channel, I find you interesting, I find you entertaining, I like hearing your opinion, and I think you're great. So you could look at my subscription feed or who I'm subscribed to, and find that list of male booktubers. Anyway, thanks for tolerating my rant, and I look forward to your comments in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.